regions of the Bacon Q. The surface lighter, lighter, I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry, with the husk of dead cities baking endlessly like shattered status in a derelict oven. Jet life remained on this unforgiving place. Forests of crystalline plants blanket the surface, recycling oxygen for the animal life that teemed underground. So, one such species, barely longer than the arms of their ancestors, was the sole surviving vertebrate. Furthermore, it was the planet's last heir of the star people, distorted beyond recognition by genetic modifications. They looked for all the world like pale, overgrown worms, tiny people feet and hands modified for digging, I don't know how to pronounce it, digging, were all that betrayed the noble heritage. Aside from these organs, all was simplified for the life underground. Their eyes were pinpricks, they lacked teeth, external ears, and the better half of their nervous system. Their lives of these Ersatz people did not extend beyond biking aimlessly. If they encountered food, they devoted it. If they encountered other of the kind, they sometimes devoted them to. But mostly they made it and multiplied and managed to preserve a single shred of their humanity in their genes. In time, it will do them good. This stuff is kind of creepy, really, really creepy. Well, these images to warm parents with their young. Strange, but well. Okay, next. Titans on the endless savannah of a long extinguished colonial outpost, enormous beast roamed supreme, more than 40 meters long that by terrestrial measurement. These behemoths, I don't know what this means, were actually the transmuted offspring of the star people. Several features betrayed their human ancestry. They still retain strophic thumbs on their elephantine front feet, now useless for any sort of precise manipulation except for U-prodding trees. They compensate this loss by developing their lower lip into a muscular trunk-like organ, an echoid of elephants on Earth's path. As bestial as they seemed, the Titans were among the smartest of the reduced submen that remained in the galaxy. Their settled life came the inevitable flood of language and literature, myths and legends, and bygone legends of the bygone have remembered past were told in blooming voices across the vast plains. It was easy to see that within a few 100,000 years, humanity could start again with these titanic primitives. Sadly, as a catastrophic ice age took over the Titan's homeworld, the gentle giants disappeared, never returned. Okay. As you can see, it has a pretty long lip, like an elephant, as it describes. Now, the next page. I don't know how time do I don't know how to time do I just past right now. Predators and prey developed. Predators were common among human spheral worlds. Most of the time they resemble the vampires, werewolf, and goblins of bicolor, hunting equally subhuman prey with a combination of delivered weaponry. Some had enormous heads with large killing teeth. Others tore their victims apart with the tail-like feet. But the most common kinds were modified fingers and thumbs, bristling with razor-sharp claws. The most efficient of these predators lives on one of the mankind first of world colonies. In addition, the paw-like hands with switchblades thumbs. They also had gaping student jaws on disproportionate heads with large sensitive ears. All of these served to make them the dominating predators of their home planet. They ran the prey, stalked the forest, and raged through the mountains in pursuit of different people. Eborous saltators with bear-like legs, with like prey lapsed into scientific way, scientific basis. But I think this is more like a science fiction. All of this than the other of. It's pretty cool also. I like the kind of creepy. This is this book on this other. I don't know if this other have more books, but I had more books, but I make a research about it, and if he had more about the same theme, the same area, I would like to read more books for the child. I hope I can find more about it. It's kind of the first one was kind of elephant, but the first one, oh sorry, the first one was the worm, obviously it's almost like a pure worm. The second was almost like an elephant, and this one is like a jaguar or like a cheetah. I don't know, kind of strange. Let's see more here. Okay, the last one I will read for this occasion. This is Mantilopis, not all developed people lapsed into complete bestiality. Some held on their minds while losing all their physiological advantage of the genetics meaning of the Q. I don't know what is Q. Well, remember I just reading some parts of the book, not all. I've been skipping some parts. Okay, that's why I don't get some concepts of this. Well, okay, we'll continue. A singular species was a prime exemplar. They had been bred as singers and memory retainers, acting much like living recorders during the rate of Q. When their masters left, they barely survived, reverting into the quadrupedal stance and occupying a niche as grazing animals. This change was so abrupt that newly evolved mantilopes endure only due to the forgiven sterility of the artificial biosphere. The mantilopes equipped with full, if highly numbered, human minds and completely disabled animal bodies, live agonizing lives they could see and understand centuries. Morphle birds rumored the plants singing songs of desperation and loss. Interreligious and oral traditions were wound around the crippling racial disability as dramatic and detailed as any on bygone earth. Unfortunately, the selective force of evolution made their agony a short-lived one. Simply put, a brain was not bandages for develop it if it could not be put into good use. A dim rider, half-minded mental grow up faster than a smart one, and race it just as efficiently. The Montilopes animal children overtook them in less than 100,000 years. In their melancholic war fell silent for good. Nothing was sacred in the evolutionary process. Okay. This is not one. Well, I will finish right now the lecture of this, the reading of this. Sorry, and I hope to you enjoying this. the good people or the more advanced people were selected to live out space, like to became the star man, but the others, I don't know if they have like they were like in this story, you know, this science fiction story. They were like slaves from another species, an extraterrestrial species, and they evolve, or they kind of just like their more basic form in order to survive to the situation. And it's a great many. I think some people think that the evolution of the species will go to result in a improvement of the species per se, but if you read this type of content, you can also reflect about if we just I don't know how to say it correctly. Just make anything for worst. I don't know, just define being comprehensive, but that's what I feel about it. In the other book that I was reading was noted to the design of the evolution of the types or subtypes of human species, or like more um, for an intellectual proportion purpose. Sorry, for intellectual purpose, having pretty bad shape or bad condition bodies, but with a higher intelligence. In this case, it's not like that. It's like an evolution of the species. Yes, there is a separation, purification of the species and of subspecies, but for worst. It's interesting. I like the design of the subspecies, and I think it's pretty